I remember wanting to choose an audience for a product that I had in mind, but the dilemma was too many options. At that time, I was working on a kids storytelling app, and I could have targeted that app to parents, to kids directly, or to schools. But I didn't know which target audience to choose. I went through a lot of trials and errors and realized that I could overcome this problem by looking at the ultimate product that I had in mind and work backwards to identify my target audience. The idea was to move from the known to the unknown. A known landmark can help us identify an unknown address, isn't it? The same principle can apply here. So in this video, I'd like to share with you how you could trace your target audience by doing essentially three things. First, know your product's value. Second, identify potential audience. And third, choose an audience that is a perfect match for your product. So the first thing that you need to know is your product's value. Now, it's not the format of your product. It's not the service or the physical or the digital based aspect of your product. I am talking about the core value, the core abilities, the benefits your product can provide to anyone who uses your product. Let's take an example. Let's look at Canva. Now, Canva is a software that helps non-designers create graphic designs in an easy way. Its core features support any non-expert to create designs. So that is its core ability. And the benefits that Canva provides to people are: it saves time, it's productive, it's simple to use, it's easy to use. So that's the whole idea. You need to identify the core abilities, the core capabilities of your product, and then identify what are the benefits that anybody who uses this product can get. Once you have this information, that's your product's value. Now you can move on to the second aspect, which is to know who are the people who need this value, who are the people who could benefit from the value that you want to provide to them. Now, for this, you'd have to go online and do a little bit of research, but there is a little catch here. When you're going online and doing your research, just be careful about not getting distracted by random online activity versus activities that indicate that there is a group of people who are serious in investing in a value that you want to provide and who are willing to buy that value. So let's talk more about this. Peter Drucker, he is known worldwide as a person who had innovative ideas for business management. Peter Drucker emphasized on this question. Amongst the 5 essential questions that he always emphasized, this was one of his key questions. And he said, who is our customer? So this question could be our guideline when we are doing our research to find out who could need the product value that we want to offer. So what you need to do is go online and search for similar value products such as yours. Let me give you an example. Say you are offering a class, a yoga class on flexibility. Now, flexibility is the value that you are providing. Now, when you go online, you would search flexibility yoga postures, and you would see which are the other products, other creators who are actually offering this this value, this flexibility yoga postures as a product. When you identify similar value products, you need to go and see their reviews, their testimonials, and see what types of people are actually engaging there, what types of people are actually buying this value. So in this example, it would be busy parents, office goers, recovering athletes. So these are the different types of people one could identify when looking for flexibility yoga postures, which is the value that I have in mind to provide. So once you identify your product's value, then you would be able to see a varied group of people who could benefit from this value you have. Now, the third aspect is that once you've identified groups of people, potential audience who could be the right match for your product, you would need to then choose one target audience that could be the best fit for the product you have in mind. Now, you would probably say, Deepti, I just identified multiple groups. Why? And they are all interested in the value that I want to provide. Why not target everybody? But I would then say, consider this. Let's look at Amazon's story. Well, when Amazon started in their initial years, 1994 to 1998, they only focused on selling books, that too online. So their target audience were people who were interested in books, buying online. After 4 years, then they started expanding their business. And now we know that Amazon is completely established and it's expanding even further. What we learn from this is that it's always good to start with a single focus. It's always nice to have one product in mind and then have one target audience and learn from that, get feedback from that, and then expand from there. The best way to identify which target audience you can choose is to ask yourself this question, that amongst the potential audience that I've identified, who is the best match for my product? Once you know who is the best match for your product, you can make a clear choice. So in closing, I'd like to say that look at the ultimate product and work backwards to identify your target audience. Move from the known to the unknown. Let's recap. The first thing that you need to know is your product's value. The second thing that you need to know is to identify the potential audience. The third thing that you need to do is to make a choice of one target audience that matches your product. Knowing your audience is a crucial step, especially in the beginning stages of your business. So I would highly recommend that you take time in solving this problem. Like I said right in the beginning of this video, choosing an audience for the product that you have in mind need not make you feel stuck. Instead, you can look at your ultimate product and work backwards to trace your target audience. This is all I have for you in this video. My name is Deepti. Thank you for joining me today.